Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Soupcans EP, Parasite Brain. Soupcans is a filthy, scuzzy, gross, disgusting, and raw ass rock band from Ontario, Canada. This is their new EP. They have 2 full-length albums that dropped before this. If the music here interests you, I do recommend that you check out their 2012 album, Good Feelings. It breezed by me last year. And these guys are a trio that embrace the sounds of noise and garage rock and psychedelic rock and really noisy post-hardcore acts like the Jesus Lizard. And this band does just not bring incredibly lo-fi, distorted, and saturated production to the table, but their approach to vocals is pretty interesting as well. Basically, their philosophy is to be as insane as humanly possible while still sounding like you're actually fronting a rock band. The 6 tracks on this EP barely breach the 10-minute mark, but what this EP does not have in length, it does have in intensity with the vocals, the distorted bass, the distorted guitars, and the very dirty drums all blaring at such a high volume that after listening to this thing even one time through, ears will be just hot, hot. The opening track on here, Parasite Brain, the title track, has this fast, killer riff. And the vocals are really caught up in the chaos of everything going on in this song, but they just go so berserk that they feel as if they're drowned out by nothing. There's a moment where the band slows down the riff of this song out of nowhere with no warning whatsoever, and it adds up to a pretty interesting moment. And there's also the masturbatory guitar solo that happens after this that really just feels more like noise making than actual soloing. And even though there are things about this track that I think are catchy, just the speed and the intensity of it, just it's so over and done with right as it starts. It's like ripping off a really big Band-Aid. Then there is the song No Teeth that comes right after the opener, a more mid-paced track on here, and a moment that is one of my favorites just because of how insane the vocals are. A track that is really minimal lyrically. I got no teeth, I got no teeth, with these lyrics being kind of grunted out as if they're being performed by a caveman. And I just love the band when they're pulling together something a little slower like this, because then things just seem so much more noisy and insane. There are great faster tracks on here, like the closer, where essentially the vocals are rendered down simply to but still, moments like this are just a bit of a blur. It's these slower tracks that just bring that pain in so much more of an intense way, which maybe is why my favorite track on here is Future Crimes Part 2, the longest song on here. And when I say longest, I mean this song is like the length of 3 other tracks on this EP. It is the slowest track on here as well, featuring these loud for Soupcans, booming guitar chords that are just bow, bow, bow. Very primal drums and some of the most deranged vocals yet on this entire release. And, you know, for a band that plays it this loose, Soupcans do seem to have some kind of command over their dynamics, because as this song goes on, it just gets more and more and more intense. Again, what this EP does not have in length, it does have in impact. And it's definitely something you're going to want to seek out if you like your music to work like a hot, strong black cup of coffee being violently splashed into your face. Even though there are a few moments on here that are a blur, and I do wish this EP were longer, and I do wish the lyrics were fleshed out a little bit more so that they added to the insane quality of the vocals. The vocals and the distorted guitars, the dissonant guitars, and the catchy grooves are all just so sharp that it's hard for me, it's impossible for me really, to charge much of what's on this EP as being forgettable or just sort of run-of-the-mill. I'm feeling a decent strong 7 on this thing. Transition. If you've given this EP a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Soupcans, Parasite Brain, EP forever.